Hello. Am I plugged in? I am plugged in. Good morning. I thought I corrected that to 9 o'clock, but I did not, in fact, correct that to 9 o'clock. I wonder if I can do it right now. No, I'm not going to try. That sounds dangerous. So, wait, where am I? So I just restarted my my computer. Hi, I'm Sarah, in case somebody pops in. And here's all the windows that opened up. That was Illustrator. Sorry. I got my email. Wow, I have no voice. I have Skype. Let's close that one. I'll get it back in a minute. I have banking. Let's close that one. Oops. Yes, save. I have Microsoft Word. I can close that. I have... Wait. Oh, that's messages. That's more messages. Slack. I can close that one. Why did they open? Boom. I have... What's this one? Excel. I can close that one. These were not open. Acrobat Pro. I can close that one. A message from Evernote. I can close that one. Okay. Those guys, Yin's guys can stay open. So I want to look at you. Hi. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning, Tammy, who may or may not be here right at the moment, but will be here shortly. So I don't have a lot of light on, so you can see what my house looks like at 9 o'clock on a Monday morning on October 30th. Look at that. What do you see? What do you see? Besides 2 cats sitting in a bay window in the sunshine. There's a floor in that room. Isn't that exciting? I'll go this way. So I have floors in all the rooms now. I'm waiting for some wall stuff to be done and painting. And then, walls, exciting. Yep. And then Mr. Mustache is right there, and you can see Frankie's tail and his back. They love it in that window. It looks out on, trees and a road and more trees and more trees and animals. So it's a good TV for them. And then I have a smoke detector on my head, so that's fun. But good morning. Tomorrow's Halloween. I'm working. So I worked Saturday and Sunday to fill in for Kirsten at the shop, and I'm working today and tomorrow, my normal days, and I'm doing okay. Thanks for thinking about me. I know you're not, but I'm doing okay. It's kind of fun to start doing something in the shop and then leave it and not clean it up for the next person and then just pick it up again the next day. I'm liking that. Hey, my voice came back. Halloween. So this is my first Halloween in this neighborhood, and I did ask, I'm going to do this because that's bugging me. There we go. I asked my neighbor, my next door neighbor, who has little kids. I said, so how does Halloween work here? How much, what do I have to get? What do I have to do? And they don't get very many kids here. He said a dozen. So, wow. Which is fine. So, therefore, I'm working on Tuesday till 6. Yep. So I'll be home about 6:30, and trick-or-treating goes from 6 to 8 in Meridian Township. And I can... the choices are turn off the porch light and be a hermit and pretend that you're not home, which I've done in the past in another house. Or turn the light on and hand out candy. And my favorite Halloween candy is stuff that I will eat later that isn't chocolate, because I will eat chocolate later, but I don't need to be eating chocolate later. And we're not going to talk about the chocolate cake I just bought last night for me. We're not going to mention that. But I was able to find my beloved Smarties, and I didn't used to like Dum Dums, but now for some reason I'm very attached to Dum Dums. So I like to have Smarties and Dum Dums, so when the kids come to the door, I can go, Smartie or Dum Dum, and then they pick, and then I secretly laugh that they chose Dum Dum if they chose Dum Dum, because that doesn't mean they're a Dum Dum, but, I'm 12 and I like to laugh at little kids. So I'm ready. I have to go down in the basement and find my cauldron to put the candy in. And I overbought, so I will indeed have some left over to snack on for a while. That's not chocolate. I'm pretty sure there aren't any calories in Smarties or Dum Dums. So, okay, so here's the thing. Back in the day, I decided I didn't like to eat or, have lollipops or Dum Dums, because if you don't just chew them right off the stick, then the paper stick gets shreddy and wet and disgusting. But I've learned recently, because there's a whole lot of Dum Dums at the shop, that they don't do that. At least not anymore. I think Dum Dums used to, but I know lollipops used to, those crappy lollipops. Anyway, now that I know that, I'm like sucking on Dum Dums all day long, which sounds really bad, so don't listen to that. So Smartie or Dum Dum. I am, I'm in a new neighborhood, even though it's the same township, so it's the same library system. And Tammy, do you secretly say Smartie or Dum Dum to your coworkers when you offer them? Or do you just see what they choose? Library system. So it's Capital Area District Library. It's pretty much everywhere around here except East Lansing. East Lansing has their own library system because they're fancy that way. So I, lived in Hazlet, so I had the Hazlet Library as my home library, and I would, because I'm an introvert and because there was COVID and stuff. Whoops! What happened there? I would, and the opportunity is available, I will put books on hold online and then go pick them up at the library, and you barely have to walk in the library. And learning the self-checkout was a little bit of a challenge in the beginning because it's not 100% intuitive, and the signage is not 100% accurate. But because my friend Deb was working at the library, she coached me through it and, cheered me on, and now I know how to check out my book by myself. So I don't have to talk to people, is what I'm saying. So now that I'm in Okemos, I took a trip to the Okemos Library, and which is a lot closer to me now, duh. And I had tried to change my address online, but it wouldn't let me, so I talked to the person and I changed my address and something. Oh, and then it says home library. So I'm like, well, let's do Okemos. She's like, okay. So she changed it to Okemos. And then I walked around the library and I'm like, no offense to Okemos, but I like Hazlitt's library a lot better. But I'm not going to, say it's my home library. Who am I kidding? I'm too lazy to go all the way to Hazlitt, 10 whole miles. Yeah, 10 whole miles. No, it's 5 miles. It's 4.9 miles. And it's even closer than that because that's how far it is between the two houses. Anyway, new home library, clean and shiny. I did get a book out of the library, a physical book. I've been, did I tell you that I've been rereading um, the Agatha Christie books. I think I might have mentioned that. I don't know. And I found so I watched Ordeal by Innocence on Prime, probably, which is a, small series, 3 episodes of a story originally written by Agatha Christie, and it was really good. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what the ending was going to be because I don't remember reading things that I've read before. I don't retain the stories. I'm a dum-dum. Wish I had them in my hand so I could hold them up based on what I'm talking about. So I started reading. So I thought, I wonder, now I can't read the book and be surprised, but I'm sure it's not exactly like the book. So I'll read the book. But I thought, well, it's, Agatha Christie, I'll start at the beginning. So I found a list of her 8,000 books that she wrote, and I've been reading my way through, and I've read like 4. And I got to Poirot Investigates or something like that, which is a couple short stories, and The Secret of Chimneys, which is a book, and neither of them was available for ebook. Neither of them had an ebook at the library, and I tried Melcat, which is the, we'll go look there for you if you don't have it in your library, and they didn't exist, but they did exist as physical copies. Well, yeah, so I put, I know Miss Marple was a knitter, so I put the Poirot Investigates on hold, and it's on hold for like 19 weeks or something, and I'm like, okay, something happened in the world, like there's a new TV version of it or something, and that's why everybody's wanting to read that one. But I was able to get The Secret of Chimneys, so that's the one I'm reading right now. It's an actual physical book. They had to pull it from the Lansing. Its home is in Lansing. But anyway, I've been reading books. I'm very excited. I used to read books a lot, and then I just couldn't concentrate, and these are working out okay. So an actual physical book that other people have touched. Which I've had discussions with a friend on whether it's okay to take a library book into the bathroom with you, if you know what I mean. And I'm a strong advocate that you shouldn't, because other people are going to read that book, and I don't want to know. Well, I lost where I am. Where'd my bookmark go? I don't want to know that my book has been in somebody else's bathroom while they've been, had their pants down, shall we say. And my friend was like, oh, I do it all the time. I'm like, ooh, tell me what you've read. I won't get those out of the library. So, I won't dislike you immensely if you take your library book into the bathroom. I just don't want to know about it. Some things should remain private. Correct? Correct. Okay. That's my opinion. Oh, I'm sure I've taken a library book into the bathroom before, but I got on my high horse when we had that conversation. And so now I can't ever take them in again, because that would make a liar out of me or something. Something silly. So that's my library story. Yeah, see, reading in a bathtub. So that was discussed more recently, because I brought up the reading in the bathroom idea, and whoever I was talking to about that said they like to read in the bathtub, but they buy books and read them in the bathtub. They don't take library books into the bathtub with them. And then I was remembering, I borrowed a series of books from a friend once, or some of a series of books anyway, or maybe a book. Let's say that I borrowed one of a series of books from a friend, and I took it to probably Big B to read, which is a coffee shop. Ooh, sorry. And I spilled a mocha all over it. So then I felt bad, and I bought a new copy of the book to give her, but while I was at it, I bought the whole series. So then I had the whole series, and one of my copies is, coated with mocha. It's like the pages were open, it just went all over, so it's all down the sides. It's very well mocha'd. Better than beer. So, let's see what else. House update. So I have walls. No, I don't. I have floors. There's a cat. Oh, you got to see an action shot. Isn't that exciting? I still have cats. I thought one of them was headed in there besides that one. I thought Mr. Mustache was on his way, but we don't know where he went. He may have gone in. Nope. Wait. There. That's another bedroom, and the door is open, and there's also a floor in there. Maybe he went in there. So maybe he's taking the long route. Oh! It's a magic trick. Cat? No cat. No cat? Still no cat. Isn't that exciting? I'm a magician now. I can make cats disappear. Floors are done, which is true, but also not true because... Oh, you can't see because my chair is in the way. Where the bedroom floor stops and this floor stops, and I have them going that way so that, because they're slightly different widths of planks, so I didn't want to freak out that they didn't match up, we're going to put something called a transition in there, we being people who are being paid, who know what they're doing. A transition, excuse me, and a transition is something between the two rooms so that you don't notice that things are different or maybe not matching. That's it. So, for example, if you have a sweater that you're making and you have a pattern that goes up toward the shoulder on the front, and it also goes up toward the shoulder on the back, but when it gets to the shoulder, it doesn't really match up, so it looks crappy, or, not as good as it could, let's put it that way. You can do a seam on the outside, like an I-cord bind-off seam thingy, in like a contrast color, and then the eye goes, oh, look at that really cool seam in the contrast color, and it doesn't notice that the two sides don't match up exactly. Pro tip. So there you go. So that's a transition. I learned that new word. I learned it in that context as a new word. So there you go. So I'm getting two of those where the two bedrooms meet the hallway here. And now that I'm having that done, I kind of want to rip up all the other areas and have transitions put there too. But it's fine. And what we're putting there will be something that looks kind of like pebbles, which sounds like, what? What are you putting pebbles there for? 1,000 years ago, at one of the Woven Art retreats up in Spider Lake, Michigan, near Traverse City, at the Spider Lake Retreat Center, I think it's called. They have pebble transitions between areas, and I had never seen anything like that before and thought it was really cool, and I took pictures and didn't think that, someday I'll do that. I just thought it was really cool. Let's see how fast I can find the picture. And was smart enough to remember it when I'm doing something with floors and they say the word transition, and I'm like, would this work? And I pulled up the picture, which I'm going to try to find for you relatively quickly. Let's see how relative is. SPID. Spider. Right there. Oh, but that's not the good picture. Oh, that's a spider. Thanks, Whoosy Wetsy. Search thing. Spider Lake. There it is. Let me make it bigger. So mine's not going to look exactly... Oh, look, there's me again. Mine's not going to look exactly like that. Oh, gosh. But something like that. For one thing, it's going to be planks instead of tiles. And the stones, the pebbles, they're not pebbles, they're like lake stone, probably won't be as colorful. But that's what it's going to look like. Isn't it pretty? So I'm excited about that. So still waiting for painting of the walls, and before painting we have filling of some holes. A lot of holes have been filled, but there's more holes to be filled. There's still some rebuilding of some walls to be done, and prettier than a brass tack strip. I agree. I'm glad I remembered it. I'm really glad I remembered it. And there's some cabinet doors going up on top of what used to be, I'm sure, a place to put a TV and a VCR in the studio, because it's shaped like a big thing with a small thing underneath. So that's going to get doors on it and be like a cabinet. And it is pretty. I think so too, Diane. I'm excited. And coincidentally, the floor of my shower is lake stone. So I think it's going to look like that and be matchy-matchy. Not that you'd notice, but that'll be cool. Yep, so a little bit more stuff going on the walls before the painters come, and I have no idea when the painters come. People ask me when the finish date is. I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. But we're close. I mean, we're not close. I have no idea if we're close, but we are running out of things to do. So it's got to be eventually. Eventually is my finish date. The leaves are falling down. I'm surrounded by very tall trees with lots of leaves, and so some of them are falling down. Probably half of them have fallen down. So I'm looking at leaf blowers. I think I picked one out. It's also raining, so that's no fun. And tomorrow it's supposed to snow, so that's extra no fun if you're a trick-or-treater or someone handing out candy who thought they would sit at the end of the driveway to make it easier for the 12 kids who are coming to the house. But eventually it's going to snow. So there you go. Might be tomorrow. Could be today. What's our weather forecast for today, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Oh, look, there's a pretty picture of a pebble transition, as it were. Today, the high is... Where does it say what the high is? Daily? 42. That's shocking. Tomorrow, the high is 38. And we have a snowflake under our cloud for tomorrow. Today we actually have partially sunny or partly cloudy. Diane says leaves are falling fast around there. It's kind of pretty on the back patio. It's like 6 inches deep in leaves at least. I'm not going to leave those there because you don't compost into your brick patio, but I might shove them all out into the landscaping, which is also 6 inches deep in leaves. So maybe I'll just actually make a compost. I started a little baby compost pile, so it will be a giant compost pile if we put all the leaves there. But so be it. That's what happens. Then it'll be smaller. Oh, freezing at work. Like in work? Well, sweaters and shawls, Tammy. I got out, it's not here. I got out, I didn't get out because I don't have anywhere to put things, but I had available to reach my Free Your Fade. It's not Find Your Fade because that was the big one, the 7-color one from Andrea Mowry, but Free Your Fade, I think, was the 3-color one, and there was What the Fade, which was the mystery one, and then there were cardigans and pullovers and socks and probably a hat and then little kids fades. And then I think that was the first I'd heard of the fade thing, and maybe she wasn't the first, but that's what brought it to my attention. And then it was fun working at a yarn shop and trying to find fades for people. Some worked better than others. All the sweaters and shawls and blankets. Oh, it's really cold. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then everybody had shades or gradients, let's call them also. I said shades, and I meant fades. You knew what I meant, didn't you? So then there's lots of gradients, and people come in the shop and say, I'm looking for some gradients. I'm like, well, we used to have some, we don't right now, so maybe I should bring that up. There must be something going on with gradients again that people are asking for them. So I should bring that up at the next staff meeting, which we don't have staff meetings, but I'll see Meg today at the shop. That'll be a staff meeting. See, because it'll be the meeting of 2 staff members. Ha! That's a staff meeting. Diane says, I love the look of stones, pebbles, but never thought of using them inside a shower. How creative and beautiful. I was pleasantly surprised because I hadn't thought about that either. And it's nice. It's extra nice because it's not flat. It is actually pebbly or stony, but the smooth kind. So slipping will not probably be easy. Because there's lots to grip with your toes. It's not that textured, but really pretty. I'll try to, I definitely need to take an updated video of the studio for my patrons, so perhaps I will throw in some pictures of things like pebbly shower floors. It's going to be an ugly photo, though, because it's not as pretty as the one I just showed you. But yeah, what was I talking about? Gradients. Okay, I got off track because I was talking about the house, and and then I went to leaves. The other house, because you need an update on that. The other house is still sold, still hasn't closed. I had to do some. I might have told you. I had to do some lawyering or get hirings. Or there had to be some lawyering done to get copies of papers from way back that included the old house, and they have to be undone legally. The house was in a trust in my will and my ex-husband's will, and even though we divorced and I at least have a new will, we forgot about the trust, and it has to be legally dissolved and stuff, legal word stuff, quit claim deed and all that stuff. So fortunately the lawyer's office was still around, and I got those papers and I delivered them, and then I signed the quitclaim deed. So I'm done with that. And then my ex has to sign the quitclaim deed, which I should. Well, I don't care as long as he does it before the 17th at closing. So yay, got that taken care of. That was kind of that was definitely unexpected. That had to do some legal stuff. And the inspection of the old house was interesting. My realtor says that the inspector of the old house likes to think that he's a builder, so he tries to find. He likes to say that he's found structural things that are wrong, which sure, that's fine. But the words "a house has fallen on the house," or "a house has fallen," "a tree has fallen on the house" were mentioned, and I'm like, a tree has never fallen on that house. I built that house. There's never been a tree on top of it, which led to talk of the roof having issues, which it probably does. I don't doubt that at all. So they brought in a roof company to look at it. Bring in the experts, and the roof company they brought in is in fact the law firm did know all about it, so they knew what to do. That helped. Hold on, I'll get it back. The roofing company they brought in turned out to be the roofing company that put the roof on, and Sarah, that's me, being me, had all the paperwork, and it turns out the roof is still under warranty for both the labor and the parts, materials, that's what they're called. So yay, nobody has to worry about that except the roof company. So that was a good result. So yay. So there's that's the last thing that I know that happened, is that the inspection took place. So progress. Oh look, it's 9:30. Yes, so thanks for being here. Things are progressing in both places, and seasonally, because it's gonna snow maybe tomorrow. If you need Smarties or Dum Dums, come hit me up at the house. And, yeah, I don't know. Life is good. Something else probably happened. I don't know what it would have been. um, yeah, nope, life is good. And thanks for being here, and I'll see you next week at 9, not 9:30. I will set it up as soon as I'm gone from you right here, and I will try to remember to put 9. Okay? Okay. So thanks for being here, and I will see you next week.